Have you ever wondered what makes you you? From your eye color to your muscle? Think about it like this: our body is made up of DNA, which holds up a bunch of our genetic information. So, this is what your DNA looks like, and it's the molecule that holds your genetic instructions together. DNA is also known as deoxyribonucleic acid, and it's made up of 4 different chemical bases: guanine, adenine, cytosine, and thymine. Then DNA makes up chromosomes, so it's not just one DNA strand, it's a lot of DNA strands making up your chromosomes. Each section of the DNA are genes. Here you have your cell, and in the nucleus, you have 46 chromosomes. So think of the nucleus as the library building full of Lego instructions. Each cell contains 2 copies of the human genome. And the human genome, think of it as like shelving in books and stuff. Chromosomes are each book in each shelf of that library. Little thing, kind of how to make human. Clearly, as you can tell, these chromosomes, it's unfortunately going to make for a very, very unfortunate person. They will be missing their neck, but it happens. So how I was talking about each gene is like each section of those instructions. They're the instructions in the book, so telling you what to do. And then for the DNA, it's, the language, everything is written, including like the pieces needed, if that makes sense. Each gene in DNA is a step-by-step recipe on how to make what, you may ask? Protein. Protein is in your fingernails, muscles, hair, and even proteins to help you fight off like sickness, disease, stuff like that. Each gene in your DNA is the recipe on how to make protein. So, like your hair is made out of protein. It's a bunch of proteins put together. So is your nails. I believe the one in your nails is keratin, and for hair, it's keratin. Amino acids for your muscles. So that begs the question, what exactly is mitosis? Mitosis is when your body replicates new cells. You ever get a cut? You're going through puberty and you're growing taller. That's mitosis. Here's a visual representation. Mitosis, you're starting with your chromosomes, and then that's prophase. During metaphase, they all kind of gather in the middle. See, if you notice the bubble's the cell's trying to stretch apart a little, it's fully divided. And then you have 2 different new cells. Another way you can visualize it, for mitosis, you start with one cell, and it's slowly coming apart until you have 2 new cells. Lastly, we need to cover meiosis. Meiosis is the process of creating sex cells. So there are 2 types of sex cells. There are egg cells and sperm cells. Meiosis begins with a single cell that starts with 46 chromosomes, just like any other cell. But here's the twist. The cell doesn't just split the cell into 2. So like the X-looking things, they find partners. They partner up, so you have one from mom and one from dad. And then they mix up small pieces of DNA, create different traits. That's why brothers and sisters, they look different from each other even though they have the same parents. Now, however, there are some exceptions with twins, but in general, there will be similarities and plenty of differences. Once they find their pairs, they divide once. They, kind of like mitosis, because they're making 2 cells. However, those cells divide a second time. This time without copying the DNA again, ending with 4 unique cells, each with only 23 chromosomes. These are reproductive cells, also called gametes. So, during fertilization, 23 chromosomes from mom and 23 chromosomes from dad combine to make 46 chromosomes. With these 46 chromosomes all together now, you have a new cell. Guess what that cell's called? It's a zygote cell. And that zygote cell is a totally new and unique combination of DNA. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you learned something new.